Hey guys, my name is Ethan and welcome to a new video. In today's video of what happens, we're gonna kidnap Meowscles again. If you missed the previous one, a friend and I grabbed Meowscles, we brought him all the way from the box factory to the agency, where he was met by GHOST Midas and the Ghost Henchman, and needless to say, this meetup did not go very well. So the moment we dropped Meowscles at the agency, he got shot by the Henchman and he also got shot by Midas. Now as you all know, the two different factions, Ghost and Shadow, are enemies, so this was very likely to happen. Now in today's episode, we're not just gonna kidnap Meowscles and bring him somewhere to get brutally eliminated. In this one, we're gonna shoot him down at the box factory, bring him all the way over to a Shadow safe house, and then we're gonna see what happens afterwards. Doing the prep work for this challenge wasn't really all that difficult. We decided to land at the small island that's located between Misty Meadows and Lazy Lake and grabbed ourselves a disguise there, because Meowscles is a Shadow boss, so if you grab a Shadow disguise, you can pretty much do anything you want when you're around him without him starting to get aggravated. Now from the previous video, we already knew that once you shoot down Meowscles, you have about 1 minute until he fully bleeds out, and instead of being knocked down, he gets eliminated. The first thing that we wanted to try was to see if the henchmen that were located near the safe house would actually revive a knocked Meowscles, since they're both from Team Shadow. But yeah, this is why we decided to clear away all the trees and the stones that were kind of between the safe house and the phone booth, because the thing is that once you grab a disguise and you either shoot an opponent and you hit, or you hit like a boss, any type of enemy whatsoever, then your disguise will be gone. After that, we also cleared away parts of the building and grabbed ourselves some weapons and a fishing rod and made our way over to Meowscles. I'm now just realizing that all the effort we did of using the fishing rods to move him further away to the ledge was completely unnecessary, because it takes roughly 25 seconds to get from the box factory to the safe house, so we could have just shot him down immediately and then hopped in the chopper and made our way over there. I think that doing this challenge is also perfectly possible on your own, but it just makes things so much more convenient if you have a friend with you that can just fly the chopper and then one other person can grab him. After a tiny struggle, we actually got Meowscles in front of one of the henchmen, and for some reason the game got glitched because we threw him on the ground and then the henchman walked away from him but started doing the reviving animation, so we were both confused, like, what's going on? But then after about 10 seconds, Meowscles actually got up and started moving away, so we were like, whoa, okay, that's the first part of the experiment done. It's very cool that you can just grab Meowscles, bring him away, and it probably would also work if you get him over to the grotto, but since we already went through the struggle of getting him all the way to Midas, we figured, hey, you know, let's just make our way over to the safe house and see what happens there. We ended up trying this again afterwards to get a better shot of the henchman reviving Meowscles, but yeah, as you can see, they are just standing next to each other as you would do for any of your teammates, and they got him back up. Anyway, back to the original footage. So here's where things got really interesting, because this was the first part of our experiment, but the second part was figuring out what would happen to Meowscles after he would get revived by a henchman. You probably know the feeling of when you're in public and you're just walking at a normal pace and then someone cuts the line in front of you and starts walking in front of you, but at a very slow pace, so you're forced to slow down or either make a curveball and do an overtake. Well, this is what it felt like watching Meowscles walk. I don't know what happened, maybe he got injured when we knocked him down, but this guy was walking so ridiculously slow. That aside, this was actually pretty interesting to watch, because it didn't matter how slow he was walking, but he was making his way, what seemed to be, back to the box factory. And then at a certain point we were like, alright, but is he gonna cross the water as well? And surely this guy just starts swimming. It was pretty cool to see. However, I don't actually think we can classify it as swimming, because it seems like he's walking inside of water. At a certain point we both kind of ran out of patience, so we started helping him. I threw a crash pad, but then suddenly this guy just went backwards about 50 meters instead of using the crash pad the intended way and just going back towards the box factory. I'm really curious what would have happened if there wasn't like a passage on the mountain, if there would have just been mountains and there would have been no way to kind of take a detour and go up there. I wonder if he would actually start climbing on the mountain in the same way that he was kind of moving through water. After all of the abuse that we put him through, we decided to help him out a little bit by building some stairs, and he just took them all the way up to the box factory. And the funniest thing is, when he actually got back to the place where we took him away from, he just started acting like nothing happened. He started patrolling, he was doing his little purse, and he started crying. And then once he spotted my friend, he shot him down and just started guarding the box factory. It was pretty satisfying, to be honest. That was the end of our experiment. We had two myths that we wanted to test. Both kind of were proven, as in Meowscles can get revived by a henchman, and he can also, wherever you kidnap him to, he can make his way back to the box factory. He's not gonna do any crazy things such as build or grab a chopper and then fly all the way back, but as long as he doesn't end up in a storm, he will find a way to get back there. Anyway guys, these kind of videos are really fun to do, because having a certain experiment and then testing it, or kind of proving if a certain myth is right or wrong, for some reason is really satisfying. So if you have any of those, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at my next video. Peace!